Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on this wonderful Wednesday for what is going to be nothing short of a thought-provoking YouTube video. And today, we're going to be talking about Hedera and AI. So we're going to be talking about the Hedera Hashgraph HBAR distributed ledger and the field of AI. And the reason I'm doing this video is because Hedera Hashgraph is going to play a fundamental role in the world that we're moving towards. Blockchain distributed ledgers are going to be as vital to tomorrow's world as the internet is today. And there's going to be a great opportunity, or there is today a great opportunity that comes on the back end of all that. And when we talk about Hedera Hashgraph, we really believe for performance-related matters, being scalability, efficiency to enact that performance of the distributed ledger, whatever it may be, cost, price point of view, we really believe that Hedera is going to play a big role in this technology as a whole and actually the adoption of it in the future. And a lot of people, when they focus on crypto, because it's cryptocurrencies, they focus on the financial aspect of things. And I think Hedera, as far as tokenizing real-world assets, and actually enabling finance more broadly, is going to do very well. But this is just one aspect of Hedera, and today I want to talk about another aspect of it as it relates to knowledge itself and AI systems, because this is potentially, in my opinion, a multi-trillion-dollar venture that AI and blockchains are embarking on with one another. And AI, we know, is probably one of the most important, you could argue potentially more important than actually cryptos themselves, technologies that has been introduced to us. And the beautiful thing with the marrying of distributed ledgers and AI is actually they can enhance one another in more way than one. And today I want to go over to a clip of Lehman, the guy from Prove AI, which was originally Casper Labs, the sole people behind Casper that have now essentially moved over entirely to Hedera to enable AI use cases on Hedera. Lehman, of course, majored, I think, in AI, or he has a very sort of extensive AI background. And again, the reason that we're doing this is because, again, it highlights perfectly the fact that Hedera is affecting the world in more than one way. And we've spoken about 1,000,001 reasons why this blockchain is going to be successful, internally and externally. This is just another one. And actually, this is a massive use case that has trillions of dollars of value attached to it that Hedera could encapsulate certainly a part of, or engulf a part of. So let's play the first clip of them, the guy from Prove AI, and of course Lehman, actually talking about AI, the tokenization of knowledge, and the synergy between AI and DLT.
I'll answer specifically in the AI meets DLT use case. We view tokenization more as sort of immutable certification of things. What blockchain allows you to do with tokenization? I mean, many people think it's just money or tokens that can be traded, but there's so much more that you can do with it. You could actually tokenize or create an NFT or any sort of primitive that acts as a certificate. You know, typically if you take Bitcoin or HBAR, these are certificates of ownership. But you can extend that concept to, okay, this is a certificate about all the data that entered your system over this time period. This is a certificate of when you adjusted your AI model. This is a certificate that indemnifies you against PII or copyright risk. And, you know, the beauty of tokenization under a DLT system, given it's really flexible and enables you to do this, gives you the best version of automated certification of things. And we see that every day, right? When you're doing a Bitcoin transaction, it's really just exchanging a bunch of certificates of who knows what. But extending that concept into artificial intelligence means you can also say who did what to these AI models when, and it's truly immutable end to end. So in our use case as well, like people think tokenization only references real world assets, but information process flows are also real assets that need to be measured.
And it's cool. This is an extension, an expanding of what tokens have originally meant. Originally, it meant you own something. That's what the token represents, and you can sell it to other people. Now they own it. But now we're expanding it to have other information. So things like certification, or things like some parts of the history of something, or things like permissioning. All this extra data, this metadata can be put into a token, and the token can be used as a store of information, which is an interesting expansion of what tokens are. And it works well then with HCS, which is the other way of storing information. There, it's about immutably storing historical information. And so you can have the two working together. You can have the tokens not representing ownership, but meta information in a way that can be changed or not changed. You can set it either way. And then HCS for storing information that never changes.
I think the original clip of this, and we'll leave a link to the full video in the description, it got something like 600 views. And actually, what people don't realize is today we're actually not just talking about the tokenization of the trillions of dollars that there are out there that exist in the forms of value and financial instruments, but we're actually creating a new asset class and industry that already exists, but in a very kind of controlled manner, of knowledge itself and information and data that we can tokenize and we can use to enable and monetize AI. And in doing so, in creating this entire asset class through tokenization, we can actually enhance AI to a degree where we can control it. We can predict it. It makes it better. It makes it more monetizable. And this is, I think, exciting, exceptionally exciting, because not just from an AI point of view, but also from a kind of new asset class, a knowledge asset class point of view, that doesn't just have kind of monetary value, but also values when it comes to freedom, liberty, etc., in regards to, with the use of the internet, we've given up a lot of our rights. We've given up, not really our rights, we've given up privacy, we've given up data, etc., that companies sell on our behalf. Now this could be essentially wind back, and there's going to be lots of use cases and companies that come out of this. So we're getting really high level on all of this, but what I'm trying to sort of put forward here is actually the use case for Hedera goes far beyond just financial, being used to leverage financial operations. It actually affects things like AI, which are technologies that are going to actually be important enough to directly affect human consciousness. And on top of all of this, and I sound like I'm totally losing it, Hedera is going to be used for things such as like knowledge itself and just all the hundreds of thousands of use cases that come off the back end of that. So this is really interesting. The fact this video only got, and I'm not saying Hedera is going to be the one that does everything. It's going to be the one that does a lot of different things, and well, because it was built to do so. It is the most performant blockchain when you look at it as an entire project, or distributed ledger because it's a DAG, that I think we have as an industry today. So let's play this second clip where they talk about this in a little bit more detail, because they talk about the real benefits that we're looking at here.
Sure. So I don't think what you're going to find is that while we're training a new model, we have lots of decentralized computers working on pieces of it. That's probably not what you're going to see, just because of the sheer amount of computation that is needed and the fast communication between the pieces. We'll have big data centers that cost $10 billion to do these training. However, the governance of being able to track it, you don't want to have to trust one person. This is too important. You really need a DLT to be able to do this. So the governance of this AI is decentralized. And then the inference. When you actually use the model and you ask it a question, you get back your answer. That you really don't want centralized. I don't want to send my personal questions and documents I want summarized to some server run by some person who I don't even know who they are. I want this pushed out to the edge. I want on-premises AI inference, where I'm asking the question to my phone and a chip on my phone is answering it. Or I'm asking my laptop and a chip in my laptop is answering it. This, of course, requires advances in chips, but this is something we have to do as a species. Humanity has to get to the point where the AI, at least the inferencing, at least asking it questions and getting back an answer, happens locally. Very important.
Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I agree with everything that was said. The only thing I'd add is, because it acts as an excellent governance layer on top of it, the DLT technology, it also enables some other quasi-decentralized properties. For example, if someone's created an excellent insurance quote model based on actuarial tables that go back a certain amount of time, their ability to now stamp it, say that these are all the data sets I've used, and then resell it to others, instead of them having to retrain the model all over again. It's way cheaper for 2 or 3 insurance companies to do this once, continue training it, and license it to everyone else, than to have every single insurance company, waste billions or trillions of compute cycles to have their own, versions of it. Curated applications are, what companies have been using for the last few decades. And we can enable that in artificial intelligence as well, as long as it's governed in a way that's immutable and trustworthy.
So I went off a little bit talking about how actually knowledge itself is going to be tokenized and, what's the value of that? Is that worth more than money? Or it's a really complex sort of topic. But what this video is really all about was showcasing to you guys that actually AI can really benefit and almost needs distributed ledger technology. And Hedera is largely at the forefront of this. And once this catches on, it's like a wildfire. Because AI is going to be a staple technology in tomorrow's world. You better start trying to become useful. Because AI will get you. And actually, I always say to people, I've got cousins that are of an age where they're thinking about going to university and doing all this stuff. And I always say to them, go get a trade. You're not going to get replaced. Content and stuff like that, we'll see. There's some really interesting things coming out. But we need distributed ledgers to essentially help the AI revolution, to constrain it, to essentially be able to prove provenance and train it in a correct manner. And then we can really harness and utilize it, unlock all these things that come on the back end of it. Distributed ledgers through smart contracts also solve the whole kind of tech stack or IT stack that goes with it. And this is where DeepIn and things like this come in. So very interesting world. I wanted to just share this video. It's a very interesting video. I didn't feel like the actual original, which we'll leave a link to in the description, got as many views as it should have. Certainly given the massive Hedera community that's out there. And obviously people that are interested in AI. When you're betting on Hedera, you're betting on multiple things, really, not just the one thing. You're betting on AI. You're betting on the future of finance. You're betting on entirely new economies and, of course, cryptography itself, And I think that's very exciting. And when something walks, talks, and quacks like a duck, it's a duck, ladies and gentlemen. That's it from me. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Have a magical Wednesday, and I'll see you all in the next one.